Hey everybody, it's Steve with another episode of Keep 'em Rolling. And I know I've been off the air way too long, and I wish I had some really great stories to share with you of why, like I was climbing Mount Everest or, hiking through, sub-Saharan Africa or riding the Orient Express or what have you. And I don't have any great stories. Basically, it was just a long summer. House restoration, work, just the usual stuff that prevented me, well, I shouldn't say prevented me because it's more of a laziness thing when I don't shoot videos. So I won't say I apologize, but I do apologize because I do appreciate all of you who are subscribers, who watch my videos, who comment on my videos. I do appreciate you new subscribers. And because of that, I'm going to really make an effort now to churn out some more videos for all of you. This one's going to be a recent pickup video. I promised you when I signed off last that I was going to do a room tour, and that is ready to go. But I just kind of wanted to get back into doing things before I did the room tour video. So let's keep this introduction short. Recent pickup. I'm excited to share everything with you. Sorry for my casual dress today. I was out doing a run. That's another thing that's been taking up my time as I'm trying to get back into shape. So, which is a struggle, I tell you, especially when you cut out all the good food. So, on that note, let's jump right into the recent pickups. Yay! So, what did I find, ladies and gentlemen? Well, everything I'm going to show you, I picked up at a military show a couple weeks ago, about 2 hours from my house, and I was quite pleasantly surprised at the condition of the material that was there. It was really a good show. Now, when I went in, the first table I stopped at had this mess kit, and usually I walk right by mess kits, but because this one had the silverware, I thought, I'm going to take a closer look at it because you just don't see the silverware with the mess kits, and I'm glad I did because we have an interwar mess kit. So just kind of a quick history lesson. World War I, U.S. Army was using the M1910 and M1918 mess kits. 1932 comes along and they redesign and create the M1932 mess kit, which is what you see here. And the M1932 is what they used all the way through World War II and beyond. Differences between the earlier and the M1932, basically the lower pan on the M1932, they made it deeper. And then on the top, they went with a divided top on the M1932, whereas the earlier ones, it was just one plate, okay? They also went a little bit deeper to make it easier to hold the food. So not a whole lot of change, but enough. Now, just because they change something, the Army doesn't go into their warehouses and throw away the old examples. They keep issuing the old examples till the supplies are exhausted, and then they start issuing the new examples. Likewise, factories manufacturing these under contract, they just don't throw away the parts when they stop making them. They mothball the parts, and the parts were interchangeable, so when they started producing the M1932 kits, they were still using components off the earlier kits if they had them available, and apparently with this one, they had the handles available. And that's how we can tell this is an early kit, is the handle on this kit right here is off an M1910. And when we look at it, if we can get in there close enough, it's really hard to see, but you can barely make it out right there, 1917. So we have a 1917 handle. I've seen these with 1918 handles. I've never seen one with a 1917, so I thought that was really cool. And then when you look at the silverware here, and this was another reason that I grabbed this mess kit, is the silverware is exactly what you want to see in this early model. What we have here is we have the knife, and the knife is dated 1917. And then we have the fork and the spoon, both dated 1918. And just what you want to find. So price $30. I thought that was a very good price to pay for this nice example. See if we can bring it back into focus. And it's going to go in with my interwar display, so it'll go in with my M1917 A1 Kelly helmet and the like. So I'm glad to add it for $30. Yay me! A mess kit. Never thought I'd get excited over a mess kit. All right, the next thing I picked up at the show was this Canteen. And I didn't really need to buy a Canteen, but I couldn't pass this one up. And the funny thing is, I actually did pass it up about 3 times, walked by it and just ignored it. And a friend of mine came up and said, "Hey, Steve, did you see that Canteen over there? You might want to check it out." And I was like, "Nah, it's a reproduction." And they said, "Au contraire, mon Steve, that's actually a legit Canteen. It's just in beautiful shape." Went over and checked it out, and they were right. Now, rarely do I use the term mint or unissued. I think it's used way too much out in the world of like eBay and so forth and so on. In fact, I saw a thing on eBay. It was an M1928 pack, and the person had it listed as mint unissued pack. And then in kind of the description, it said that 2 straps had been cut off. There was some staining to it, and there was some, I think one of the buckles was missing or something. And I thought, how is that mint? So I think it's way overused, but I'll let you guys be the judge on this. Feel free to leave a comment on what you think the quality of this canteen is. So I'll just kind of take you through it here. We have the cover. The cover is that kind of golden khaki. It's not faded out. There's no water staining, no rust staining. It is just absolutely in beautiful condition. Nice maker mark, 1943 dated. You can still see the marks for sewing on the hanger. Crisp US. If we look at the lift dots, they are practically perfect. There's a little tiny bit of wear, and then check those out. I mean, I've never seen something so nice before. Just absolutely beautiful condition. There's a pucker here on the back, but that's just part of the sewing process. And then there's just a little bit of a fold here on the front from storage, but that should work its way out over time. No problem there. The water bottle, standard water bottle. It's dated 1943 there. It does have a little tiny wingding there and another little one right there. But then listen to this cap on here. I've never seen one like, never heard one that quiet before. I mean, and then, you know, you have the cork on the inside. Doesn't even look like there was ever water in this canteen. Lightly used. But I think the star of the show is the cup. The cup still has that kind of factory powder coat finish on it. Plus, look at the handle on this. It's dated 1944, still has the factory shine. You know, this is something you see right out of the factory, and both this coating and this shine would quickly disappear with use. So I don't even know if this cup has ever been used. So that's it right there, and I will let you be the judge as to what quality you think that is. Does that qualify as mint? Does it qualify as unissued? Where does it rank on a scale of 1 to 10, with 1 being perfect, 10 being, well used? Now, the price of this was more than I've ever paid for a canteen. The price was $50, and that's hard for me because I'm used to buying canteens at a relatively inexpensive price, years ago when I first got into this. But, when you look at canteens right now on the market, at the show, a couple dealers they were nice canteens, but they were well used. The US has been faded out, the covers are faded, there's water staining and stuff, but they're complete. And these guys were looking at getting, $35 to $40 for those canteen sets. So to pay $10, $15 more to get something that's this quality, I just couldn't pass it up. I really probably don't ever need to upgrade. In fact, do I really ever need to buy another canteen? We'll see. Now, I did find one thing I was looking for at this show, and that was this Musette bag. I've been looking for one of these now for over a year. I do have a couple in my collection, but I had that hankering to add another one. And it seems like every one I would come across out in the wild was in rough shape, and the price was $75 to $125. For those of you who are like, well, gee, why don't you just go on eBay? I love eBay, but about 99% of my collection has been built by, antique shops, flea markets, et cetera, et cetera. I go to eBay very seldomly because I just love the hunt. So sometimes, it takes a while, but you know what? It usually works out in the end. And it did with this. So when I saw this, I was hopeful, and obviously it did work out because I'm showing it to you. The neat thing about Musette bags is they were used by the U.S. Army, and they were such a popular thing because of their versatility. They were used by the Army Air Force, and they were used, for everything from combat, carrying extra rations, serving as a backpack, carrying extra ammo, etc., to, Air Force personnel, aboard the aircraft. You could clip it to the bulkhead of the airplane, truck drivers, Jeep drivers, etc. They were very easy to hook to the vehicles. They were used as carry-ons when you were traveling. They were used as, bags to go into town to carry your personal items and such. So just a very versatile bag. And then after the war, when they were surplused out, boy, the sportsmen loved these bags. Fishermen, hunters, the Boy Scouts, they just ate these up. And that's why they are not the easiest thing to find in great shape because of that. So let's talk a little bit about the bag itself, and then I'll give you some pointers here. First of all, it is complete. We've got the buckles here on the front. We've got the 2 straps here on the front. We've got this nice early US. The coloring on this is that golden khaki. It's just beautiful. We have the side pocket with the flap and the button. Turn it around here on the back, and we've got the back button right here. We've got the 2 straps, little tiny bit of wear on the straps, but nothing to be concerned about. We've got the clips, and they both still work. Down here on the bottom, we've got the 2 tabs here. There's that one and that one. And then when we look inside of the bag, we've got a nice date for 1942, a manufacturer, and then we've got this internal divider. So everything is complete. And that's what I want to point out to all of you is if you're a U.S. collector and you don't have one of these in your collection yet, I strongly advise you buy one as soon as possible. They're getting harder to find. It's just that natural trend as we get further from World War II. Things are disappearing. So I would add one sooner rather than later. And then the other thing is make sure to check all the components, the straps, the flaps, the buttons, because the sportsmen who pick these things up, they tended to convert them over. So they'll cut off this flap here to make this just a pocket to slide things into. They may cut off straps if they're not needed. One thing that often is missing is this internal divider where that gets ripped out or cut out to make one giant pouch instead of having extra, extra dividers and so forth. Another thing is the name. Oftentimes you'll see a name written across the front, and we like to imagine that's the soldier's name when in fact it may be just a scout who wrote their name across so the bag would be identified as theirs when they're on a camping trip. So unless I see a name with a laundry number or something to that effect, I tend to kind of steer away from it. Now, price on this bad boy was only $30, and that, was quite the surprise, and I was very happy to pay that and bring this home. So, yay! All right, everybody, the final thing to share from you, gosh, it has been a long day. The final thing to share with you from this whole military show trip actually came from the antique store that was just down the street. Like I said, it's been a long day, my goodness. After the show, my friend and I, we decided to hit this antique shop, and we joked that, we weren't going to find anything. And for me, antique shops have been a huge disappointment lately. I have gone to many over the summer to find absolutely nothing. I don't know what your experiences are like. Leave me a comment. Let me know, are you finding stuff at antique malls or not? My experience at some of these big mega malls, and I went to ones that were even out of my area. I did some traveling, and I found new malls, and I'm like, check it out. And I would come out shocked at seeing nothing that was World War II. Not stuff that was damaged or overpriced or, what have you. Literally nothing. No overseas caps, collar discs, no ration books. I don't know where it's all gone to, but in this shop, we found nothing except this. My friend didn't spot it. I managed to see it in a display case. We'll start off with the box. It says Compass Instrument and Optical Company. It's a beautiful box, just absolutely in excellent shape. And then inside this box, we have an unissued, you can see the leather strap there, unissued World War II wrist compass. Look at how beautiful that is right there. Now, this was not a giveaway. This was not a bargain find. The price on it was $99, and I know that these don't sell that high that often. I was able to get a 10% discount, and then plus tax, it came out to like $95 and some change. But there were a couple reasons why I picked this up. Same thing with like the Canteen and the Musette bag, and that is nice field gear in unissued condition is getting harder and harder to find. It seems like when I see it out there, I see stuff that's really been used. Finding something this mint was incredible. So number one was the condition. That's why I picked it up. Number two, it had the box. Now, I don't know if this is a wartime box or a post-war box. These right here, after the war, those that were, left behind, not used, etc., they were surplused out, and sporting goods stores, etc., bought them. So I don't know if the company, put them in this box for the sporting goods stores. They were used by hunters, fishermen, scouts, boaters, etc., etc. The main reason I picked this up, besides being mint, having the box, is the date. Some of these are undated, some are dated. Usually when I find ones that are dated, they are like May of 45. This one, if we can find it, do I have it? Yeah, let's go this way here. Zoom in, and yep, you can see that, August of 44. So a beautiful date on this, puts it after D-Day but before Market Garden. So that was one thing that really sold me, because you usually don't see those 44 dates, at least that kind of, mid-year to a little past mid-year. So I grabbed it, added it to the collection. Yay, me again. Don't know where this is coming from, but like I said, long day. Well, everybody, I hope you enjoyed that recent pickup video as much as I enjoyed making it and bringing it to you. I was grateful to be able to go to that show, because finding those things kind of brought me out of my fuzziness. It'd been kind of a long summer of not finding anything, and I lost my inspiration. So finding those things kind of brought it back and got me back into doing videos. So we'll do one more recent pickup video, because a couple other things have come my way since working on this one. And then we'll do the room tour, which I'm also very excited to show you, because I think it's been almost 3 years now, and things have really, really changed in my war room. So on that note, thank you for continuing to travel with me on this journey. I hope all of you are finding great things, and let me know in the comments if you are. I love to hear your stories. So on that note, we'll finish up with, this is Steve reminding all of you to, well, keep them rolling. Yay!